Okay, once again, welcome each and everybody to tonight's dining. Uh, it has been 3 weeks since we have started the challenge. Now, I am aware that there are those who are not in full swing already in doing this challenge, and then there are obviously those who are already in full swing. Guys, let me tell you a story about myself. When I was back in 2016, I was actually looking for an opportunity, and I came across cryptocurrencies, and I was put into a group. And at that point of time, my mind could only, I could only, uh, uh, um, I limited my mind was so limited that I thought I'm only worth like 10,000 rand a month. And I was in this group, and people were actually making 5,000 rand a day, 10,000 rand a day. For the month, they would walk away with over 100K or 20K or 30K. And I was just in that group, sitting around and not thinking that this is above me. But one thing I never did, I never went out of that group. And soon enough, that also rubbed off on me. And once I started believing that I can do it, and then that is actually where the change came. So some of you are doing paper trades, even if you don't have the $100 to actually trade with. It is no excuse not to get up at 5 and do your. Or if you are a person, it doesn't have to be 5 a.m. in the morning. If your day normally starts at 6 o'clock, then you need to just wake up before that so it doesn't interrupt your day, this challenge. And if you are normally getting up at 11 o'clock, then you'd want to get up at 10 o'clock so you can actually do what is needed. So it doesn't mean that you need to get up a specific time, but you need to wake up an hour or half an hour before so you can actually start doing those things. So if you do not have the daily routine, let me know so I can actually make it available in the group once again. So in saying that, now remember what I said, even if you are not trading hard cash, if you're not trading money, you don't have an excuse now not to actually partake in this challenge. You do paper trades, meaning you um, go to the market, you analyze, and where you wanted to buy in, you obviously hide down where you wanted to buy in, you hide down where you wanted to put your stop loss, and where you obviously want to put your take profit. And you also do a report, and you put it in, and you actually can see, even though you didn't trade with money, you see what would have happened if you traded with money. So it's no excuse not actually having a trading report, even if you actually, like I said, even if you don't have the $100, even if you're just doing paper trades, but it's important that you do your daily routine. If you don't have the daily routine, let me know so I can send it in the group again so everybody can get it. But it's important that you already have a report on a daily basis that you complete and your tasks. So whether you're trading with 10,000 rand, whether you're trading with 1,500 rand, or whether you're trading with no money and you just paper trading, you're writing down where you would have bought, where you've put your stop loss, and where you would have got out of the market. So you can still add that and have a copy of that. So you can see actually, so once you put in your hard cash, then you are actually a step ahead. But do not sit on the side and not do these things. So guys, for those of you who just got in, welcome. And like I've said was, nobody has an excuse not to actually have a report, or because at the end of the day, whether you're trading with 100,000 rand, whether you're trading with 10,000 rand, 1,000 rand, or with no money, just paper trading, you need to have a report to see how you can actually do. So some of you are watching or just started last week, or it's the first week, or watching this in the replay. So today is basically, for instance, your day one. No problem. But at the end of the day, let us be disciplined, because I mean, if we let's just do this quickly. So when it comes to setting goals, guys, your mindset is very, very, very important, because if your mindset isn't right, then doesn't matter what you do, how many hours you put in, you will not hit that goal. Like I said, I got put into a group in 2016. Guys were making 50,000 a month, 100,000 a month, etc. I was just there up until I started believing that I can actually do this, and that is when I obviously got started. Now, this is option A. Nothing wrong with having a job. We need to obviously find a way to get hold of this money. And then option B, so whatever we are doing at this point of time, let's say that is B, and the challenge is A. You don't have to choose between the two. You can work on both of it. Some of us only work on one, but you don't want only B. This is the challenge. And this is what you are accustomed to. So let's say it's your job or it's your other business that you are already doing. So in being in this group, you have said yes to this. So either you are only doing this or you are doing both of these. Now, let's say this brings you in 30K a month. You know you're putting in at least 10 hours. So even if you're working 8 hours, you need to commute, you need to get ready, all of those kind of things. So you put in 10 hours per day. So within 1 year, this would work out to 360,000 rand. This is for 30K per month. This year, the challenge, let's say you get started with a least amount of 1,500 and you do the 2% per day, then potentially you can take it to 2 million. Now, if I put this down and I ask people, what would you choose? Most people would say the 2 million, but your actions speak louder than words. And what the actions would obviously show is most people would go for this. Or that is what the actions are. Let's say you couldn't speak or I was dumb, I couldn't hear what you are saying, and I were to read what you are doing on a daily basis, then this would obviously be the one. Like I said, you don't need to choose between the two. You can always do both. Hence, I said, you know what, get up half an hour before you used to get up, and do your daily routine, and during the day, just check your trades. So you don't have to walk away from this because that is not what we want. We want you obviously to have your salary for the year, maybe or times 2. Then you can think of actually getting ahead of this, because when it comes to trading, there's a lot of learning curves. So 1 month you will be flying high. The next month you might just burn your fingers tremendously, especially if you are not using stop losses. Now, I want you to have this in your back in your keep that in your brain, because at the end of the day, what we're going to do daily, and the great thing is we don't have to choose between the two. You can still do both. You just need to prioritize and wake up a bit earlier and devote some time during the course of the day. Okay, so let us get into the market. Let's share the entire screen. Now, not to go back, but just something that I've omitted to actually mention. if we think back, or if we look at those who are making millions, everybody gets 24 hours. But at the end of the day, guys, um, it will take dedication to actually do it. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy. But at the end of the day, if we want to reach it, we will have to do what is not easy. Because if we only do the easy things, and then the challenge would be hard. But if we do the hard things, and then this challenge would actually get easier. You know where we should be in week 2. When you have started with $100, I think we should on week 3 actually. So we should be on around about 140, 150 US dollars. So if you are going to follow the daily routine, I don't care where the market goes from here, whether it goes to here or whether it goes here, it shouldn't actually affect your results. When I got started, I was actually emotionally attached to the price of Bitcoin. I just wanted it to go up. Now I don't care where it goes. I just position myself in the trend where it is actually going. Now, I know to some of you, you are not as yet comfortable or know how to actually position yourself when the market goes down so you can profit. We get that. So you are just obviously buying, but at the end of the day, as you are making profits and you are developing your method, then you obviously also want to actually start developing the skill to actually position yourself to make money when the market is going down. Because you don't want to be a bull in a bear trend, neither do you want to be a bear in a bull trend. Now, today, the market, everything went well over the weekend. We actually didn't have any bad news. And then obviously we know what happened. Most of us, obviously, if you are following your daily routine, you're reading at least 2 articles, you would find that this was on CoinDesk. Okay, we don't want to be there as yet. So after all the bad news was out, finally the market was actually getting back. And then what happened? This Havel group, they actually had a whole lot of, they say it could be up to 1 million companies. So this is only 200 US firms, but they have actually but those firms or organizations were supplying software to other people. So if you had that, in fact, put a 1 in the comments if you have had at least one version of this article. Whether you had the one of News 24, where South African companies have been affected, etc., or you've had it over the weekend. A 1 in the comments if you had it. A 2 if you haven't seen it. Anyway. Okay, I think we are 7 here. So 2, Norma hasn't seen it. 2, Jerome hasn't seen it. Valdemar has seen it. And Ginolin has seen it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, fantastic. Let me just take a note of this. This obviously gives me an idea. I think there's one person who didn't comment. Let's see. Jean, het jy hom gesien? Voor vandag. Voor nou. Okay, let's go ahead. This obviously resulted to a whole lot of fear because people didn't realize how far this actually went. And soon they started to think, you know what, these people are going to get that 70 million US dollars worth of Bitcoin, and they are obviously going to dump it on the market. So hence we saw a bit of fear. Okay, so I also didn't see that. Now, just wanted to see how far it actually went. even South Africa. But if you haven't seen it, go and read up on it. We are not going to spend some time actually reading it. Now, we know what happened when China actually banned miners. There was also fear in the market. But after reaching around about 30,000 US dollars per Bitcoin, we saw China transporting their or sending their selling their software not even as per unit but by the kilo, basically selling it as stash. So what it's obviously an opportunity for others. So as we can see, by now if you didn't have Twitter, I advised or recommended everybody to get Twitter, follow Michael Saylor and a whole lot of other guys. Even if you start only by following him, you will soon start to actually follow the others that is actually connected to him. So yeah, he shared obviously about China. They are losing out, but others are booming. Obviously, North America. So our other people are actually their business is booming because they have less competition. Now, what does this have to do with the charts? I remember when I got started, I only wanted to be here. I only wanted to be in the charts. I only wanted to actually be trading. But I soon realized that the time I spent on the charts or making the trade is actually like 5% of what I actually need to do. And if we don't spend time doing the other 95% of the things, then it will show in our trading. Now, I'm sure that most of us are obviously coming here to learn something or to do some sort of trading. But like I say, this is 95%. In fact, let me not share my actual, let's just share this first. Guys, if you have this, don't know how to use it, then you need to reach out so we can send you the video that show you how to use it. So whatever amount you are trading with, if you are trading with 1,500, I am started trading with $100, so I made it 100. You can say I put it at 2%. So now when I go to 2% daily, I can see what it is actually supposed to do. So at the end of the first month, on 2%, you should have 174 US dollars. Remember what I said in the training. When you know how to make 1%, you'll know how to make 2%. And when you know how to make 2%, you'll know how to make, like for instance, 20 day. Like today, I made 23.5%. So it's still week 4 left. $100 is supposed to be 174 by day 30. Well, already on 484. I was on 650 actually this morning. However, I took out $200. The $200 you saw in the group, the 2,800 and something. That's $200. I took that $200 because I invested more time yesterday on a Sunday. So I just remember, guys, you cannot, like for instance, your kids, just tell them you are such a good kid and they do good, they do all the work, but you just say they are good. Yes, complimenting them, but you need to give them a token, a reward. The same as for myself. I was tired after this, and I can be how committed, but if I do not reward myself, if I don't buy that extra pair of techies, or I buy that sunglasses I wanted, etc. Deep down in my subconscious mind, I'm working myself to death. And then this year would be very long for you to actually do this challenge. So you need to actually take it one step at a time. Enjoy every step that you are going. You don't want to celebrate when you have reached this big goal, but on a daily basis, I'm not saying that you need to take out your profit, etc. But what I do is, especially if I've worked hard, I make sure that I take some of the profits. So This, obviously, this challenge, and you need to understand, your goal is to make 2% or 1%, whatever you percentage you want to work towards. You are only applying the trading rules that requires or puts you in a position to make 1%. This is not hodling. This is a different portfolio. That other portfolio, you can put it here. This portfolio tracker, this is what the exchange you're trading, the date, the coin, the amount, all of those kind of things for your challenge only. Coins that you are holding, you can put it here in portfolio tracker 2 or whatever. It's not hodling. I don't want you to get confused. When it comes to this specific trading, I know there are certain coins that you read up, you can't get yourself to sell those, put it in a different thing. That is not part of the challenge. In fact, I don't even have to know about it. But you need to be disciplined in the specific percentage that you actually took. If you do not find the time to do this, I can almost guarantee you that you are not going to reach your goal, because this is the profits is only the result of actually implementing all of these kind of things. If you don't have the time to go to the market before you start your day, the market kept 24-hour volume, Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin volume. If you start thinking that this is actually for the guy who's just getting started, etc., you are doing yourself a huge, major disservice. So it's important for guys, this here, and recording what's going on in your tracking which coins you are actually trading and what is giving you what percentages is way more important than what's actually going on here or what's going on in the charts, because that will affect the actual results. That will definitely affect it. And at the end of the day, like I said, if we are not going to do that, it's same as basically the 80-20 principle. So if you are not going to do there are like 20% of the things that you do brings about 80% of the result. So think of this as actually being 20%. So if you were reading, if you were following the daily steps, it would be impossible for you to have missed that article if you were reading at least 3 articles in the crypto space, because I mean, it was all over. And it will obviously show in your results. So if you haven't been doing these things, today is a new day. Today is a new day. Let's get started on that and actually start implementing that. So in order for us to not go on for 2 hours, let us get into the market and look at what the market is actually doing at this point of time. So let me quickly, I think I did go here with you guys. So guys, we need to be ready, irrespective of what's going to happen, because we could not see that these guys are actually going to hack these companies. We couldn't have predicted that. So the market is, to a certain extent, it's predictable, but it's also not predictable because we couldn't anticipate that. So we need to actually have the skill to position ourselves for every scenario that can actually fall upon us. Okay, so now let's go to Bitcoin. Guys, irrespective of which coin you are trading, most of the coins are following what Bitcoin does. So we'll analyze Bitcoin and what it's doing, and then we'll obviously take it from there. So then we can move over to other coins now. I will also show the specific coins that I'm trading, how or when it deviates from what Bitcoin is actually doing. So let me quickly make the screen bigger. Okay, there we go. Now, we were actually on this upward trend, And then the news started hitting about this ransomware or this major hack. They say it's the biggest hack across the world. Remember, they didn't hack Bitcoin. They didn't hack. It has nothing to do. They could have asked to get paid in Zimbabwean dollars also. It has nothing to do with Zimbabwe, the fact that this hack happened. So the same when it comes to Bitcoin, it has nothing to do with Bitcoin. It's just they asked to be paid in Bitcoin. They hack other companies, software companies. So now, Bitcoin was trading upward, and then this obviously happened. Now, I'm going to, for instance, just do a simple trade. What actually made me to actually get into the trade earlier that we shared. In fact, I think Kanita did the same trade. So remember, we obviously analyzed the market, and after seeing this, we saw that there was actually obviously support here, and we were actually going back. So we got in on the 61%, the golden ratio. So if you don't know what the golden ratio is, go to your training videos and watch the second video in the Crypto Pro. So it will show you how to actually look at this. So we saw that it bounced off here. If I were to, I just want you to actually see what we are doing. So you will see that it bounced right on the golden ratio. So from here, swing low to swing high, it bounced off there and it was making its way back. And then more people obviously started to panic. Now it went, I did my trade. Now guys, I wanted to notice what I'm saying. So let's say I made my trade like I've done limit. I got in, let's say at 33. Where's my analysis? Yeah. I want you to be able to see what I did. We got in at, let's say, 34,000. If I were to, in fact, let me not underestimate you guys so that I don't have to do the, I'm sure that you will understand. Let's say we got in at 34,100. So what do? We determine a 2%. A 2% will take us to 33,400. Okay, so that is where the stop loss was. Then remember, you get in here and here's my stop loss. But now the market started going up. So remember these steps. The market starts going up. You move your stop loss up to where you actually got in, especially if you see that there are new support that is actually made there. So if I go to the 1 hour, you would actually see that there were obviously new support. So I got in here, and then the market went up to here. And then what did I do? I moved my stop loss up to here where I got in. So therefore I said I was kicked out at break even. Break even not means not profit, no losses. I moved my stop loss up, and as a result, this happened. The market came down, and I was actually able to get in here. Can you see how powerful the Fibonacci retracement tool is? It stopped right there at the 78%, 78.6%. So it's important to actually also use that. So at the end of the day, we got in there, and then I know that we are actually in the upward trend. And remember, many who are uneducated, they believe that, you know what, they feared, and most who are educated, because it's most those who actually are educated concerning cryptos and they know what we're keeping on. Most of the people sold the weekends, most of them are out. They coming back slowly, slowly. So therefore, we saw this actually happening. If we were still on 60,000 and all the weekends were in, and they had that article, we would have seen it going way lower than here. So I was kicked out at break even. I got in, and I actually was able to obviously, and like most of you, could actually get in. And as we are making our way up, so if no bad news happens, I believe that we will actually easily make it back here. Make it back here, at least here, because what happened was we went there, we were still on this trend line. It respected the trend line, it was going up, and then all of a sudden, more news and the same news, but just more and more and more and more articles. So yeah, as people are obviously translating it, etc., throughout the world, and then people started obviously panicking. So, in my opinion, I believe that we are obviously going to be back here in the next 48 hours, unless something major news actually happens. So obviously I'm not using the Fibonacci retracement tool only. So you could see that the Fibonacci retracement tool was one. We could see that this trend line here is another, it's a second confirmation. It obviously broke through the Bollinger Bands. That was the third reason why I actually got in there. And as we can see, the RSI also showed it is oversold. So that is why I obviously got a fourth reason. And this is the fifth reason, because this is unsustainable, or this is unsustainable. You never have so many people selling all at once, or so much being sold at once. So I knew that this is oversold. So that was reason number 5 why I got in. Just go and look. And remember, this is the first time that I'm actually looking at my laptop today. I do all of these things from my phone. So if you're trading with your phone, it is also not an excuse to not actually be able to look for these things. I did not necessarily trade Bitcoin, but all of the coins, it followed Bitcoin. It follows Bitcoin at this point of time. Now, I, for instance, traded the specific coin. So whatever coin you are trading, I want you to look at that coin based on cancel. Okay, our first meeting. The recording is ready, so I'll be just putting them together. So we will be able to see that the Cardano did the same what Bitcoin did, but because if you go and look at, I told you guys, for instance, this specific project, there's a lot happening, especially this month. So Cardano against Bitcoin. So even though Bitcoin is plummeting, when Bitcoin plummets, yes, it plummets with, but then it comes back. It does happen. Everybody remembers the 14th of May when Bitcoin lost almost 54% of its value. So this is a normal correction. So you will see actually the cup and ear playing out. The Cardano against Bitcoin chart, because it is recovering. Why? Because of what is happening in the market. But even though the price doesn't necessarily show that it is actually already so close to its all-time high. But the reason why Cardano is recovering faster than what Bitcoin is because of fundamental news. So if you are on it, you can, if you are trading it, and I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about. So guys, it's our time is actually over, and we didn't have questions and answers at this point of time. The profit is at the amount of dollars you made. Yes, it's only dollars. I made it in, obviously, in I don't calculate in the hands because it's too much calculations, because I mean Binance tell me what the dollar value is. So thanks for tuning in today. And I'm going to stop this recording right now.